Just as a recap, guys, on this map, I flew into Ho Chi Minh from Heathrow on the 23rd of November and took an internal flight up to Hanoi, where I picked up my motorcycle and I started my trip, which was first night at Tu Yen Quang, which is middle of nowhere. Then I rode this little tiny track up to just before Aizhang, to a homestay that had a pool, which was lovely. And then the next day I just did a little loop and stayed at that farmhouse in the mountains, which was great also. So that's day 3. Day 4, I rode on to Long Cu, which is the northerly point of Vietnam, bordering China, and then spent the night at Dong Van, which is like a trading town. You know, it's trading town. From there, I rode down to Cao Bang, which I spent 2 nights there. Fabulous city. Really enjoyed it. No tourists there at all. And then used that extra day to go and see the waterfalls at Ban Kiop. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. And then come back, spent the second night at Cao Bang. And then the following day I rode down to Ba Vi Lake, which is a super lake. And then from that point I rode 325 kilometers, I think, down to Halong Bay. Met up with a Swiss guy that I've bumped into, and we spent the night in Halong Bay. And then the next morning I caught the ferry across to Cat Ba Island, which is a area of outstanding natural beauty, and it's got beaches to die for. I spent 2 days there, got a ferry across and rode down to Ninh Binh and on to Tam Kok, where those casks are, and I caught a rowing boat that you can actually row under the karst mountains. Absolutely splendid. So from there, travelled down to Hue. Hue was just an overnight, and then I made my way along this Hai Van Pass. This is the pass that Top Gear did on their scooters. They said that it was the best view in Vietnam. I tend to disagree with that. I think that's the only ride they actually did. Anyway, so from Hue I went down to Da Nang, spent a night in Da Nang, and then the following day rode down to Hoi An. I think I spent 2 days there. That is the French colonial houses. It's very famous for its lantern festival, where they float lighted candles down the river. It's beautiful. Really enjoyed it there. From there I rode. I didn't think I could make it to Ton Kum across the mountains, so I came this way in one day. So I came this way and stayed at Quang Nai, where I had the beach to myself. Huge expanses of beaches, and nobody on them. So that was wonderful. From there, I rode to Tongkum and on to Pliku. These areas, there are no Westerners here. So I didn't see a Westerner for about 3 days. From Pliku, I rode down to Baummathrot. Again, I'm sure that's pronounced wrong. Stayed the night there, and then on to Dalat, where I saw one or two Westerners again. Dalat's lovely in the mountains, but I preferred Bao Lok. Bao Lok was the next city along. Absolutely wonderful city. I stayed there for lunch and to make my way down to Cat Tien National Park. Again, this is an area of outstanding natural beauty. It's a nature reserve for the preservation of Siamese crocodiles and two types of bear, moon bear and sun bear. They're all on the endangered list. Also gibbons. So I had a chance to see those. That was wonderful. I spent 2 days there, well, about 2.5. Wish I could have stayed longer. From there, the last stint was to Ho Chi Minh City on the bike. I spent 2 days there just visiting the tunnels. These are famous tunnels from the Vietnam War that the guerrilla army used to fight the Americans. Dropped the bike off and then flew back up to Hanoi, where I am now, and Style Motorcycles very kindly lent me another bike so I could do a little bit of sightseeing around Hanoi the last couple of days. So that's 30 days, that's 4,500 kilometers on the bike, on a little 110cc bike. All I can say is I've really enjoyed Vietnam. The people are wonderful, the food is great, and I would encourage anybody who wants to come and do it. If anybody needs any tips, just give us a shout.